Hi, I'm Cherie Krim, candidate for Panama City Beach, City Council, Ward 4. I'm running because I love our city. I have the experience and dedication to make a difference here. I believe our government should listen to and work for its people. I will be focusing on our community, our environment, and I will always be an advocate for transparency. On April 21st, vote for me, Cherie. My name is Cherie Krim, candidate for Panama City Beach, City Council, Ward 4. I approve this advertisement.
Hi everyone online. I've got TikTok over here. I've got Facebook. I've got LinkedIn. I have YouTube over on this side. Together with all of these platforms and the information that we're going to talk about, we're going to impact our election here in the United States. My name is Cherie Krim. If you don't know me, I ran for city council over in Panama City Beach back in 2020. I am a community leader here in Bay County. I have started multiple nonprofits. I have run for office, and I also work with candidates who run for office because in my county where I live, most of the positions have never had a woman or somebody who's not white in them. And right there alone is where we need to go here in Bay County. We need to get good people to run for office going forward. But today, we're going to talk about women and how women are going to decide this election. So I'm so excited y'all are watching. I think you see, right? And they got a Harris sign over here, all the things behind me. If you watched the debate last night, I think we all were quite I don't know, when he started talking about the dogs and people eating the dogs, he truly believed it. And he truly was very upset when he was fact checked because he had seen it on TV. So last night during the debate, you saw a very strong woman walk out, go straight to him and shake his hand, which he would not even give her. That, did y'all notice like how weak his handshake was? Only weak men have a weak handshake, even with women, right? And so we as women walk up to the men like that, and we are the ones that are in control. Now, last night was amazing. If you watched the debate, let me know on any of the comments here. Please let me know if you watched the debate. I know a lot of people believed that Kamala did the most amazing job ever. And if you watched it, you will see how she baited him. Y'all remember when he said something about his rallies? She baited him. She baited him to talk about his rallies and how big they were. And he has the best rallies, right? That's what you have to do with narcissists. They are going to continue to keep speaking the lies, the untruths, until you call them out on it. Now, I have been to a Trump rally. We had multiple here in Panama City Beach, which is a funny story, and I'm going to put this out there for anybody who might be watching from the Kamala campaign. Here in Panama City Beach, we gave Trump his rallies for free twice. The city of Panama City Beach let him have the venue for free, paid for the police, donated the police for him, donated the fire and the protection. That is where I live. So the last Trump rally that we had here in Panama City Beach was after Hurricane Michael. I want to say it was 2019. It might have been 2018. No, it had to have been 2019 after Hurricane Michael. And so when Trump came here, and I have pictures of it and I had put it out at the time. When Trump came here for his rally, they made sure over in Pier Park that they made the venue pushed in. Aaron Besant Park is a huge venue where he could have fit many more people in there, but they wanted it to look packed. So they squished all the people together. So he would look like he had a packed audience. And so as they did that, once they hit whatever number they wanted to hit, they started sending people over to the overflow, right? The overflow, it really, there's maybe a couple hundred people in the overflow and maybe 1,000 within the rally. And that's here in very red county, Bay County. People are tired of listening to the mental gymnastics and the lies that Trump has to come up with, right? The word salads he talks about, all of that. So, by the way, if you like my TikTok, you like my pages, please like me. You know how this goes. We have to make sure that people are seeing what we're doing. And if you go backwards on some of the videos I posted about last night, the Washington Post did the best one. They did it in a sped up voice, and they did a really good recap of the debate. So back to Trump being here. So as I was there at this rally, protesting the rally, of course, because I'm not a Trump supporter, I believe in this. And as I was there protesting the rally, watching what's happening, I'm talking to the vendors, right, who are selling the Trump stuff. And I'm laughing because every single vendor was forced to cut the tags out of the Trump items they were selling because they were not made in the United States. And in fact, all of the things that Trump has out there right now, the things he's selling, is he making anything within the United States? Like those gold sneakers, all of those things? Really? Was he? Stop him from what? Make America great again? I'm sorry, Pastor Phil. Make America great again? We are great. We are not great without Trump. We are great without a fascist dictator like Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis. I understand men are really upset right now that women, we're owning our power. We're stepping up and we're speaking out. And the best part of this whole election is women are going to decide it. It is not your job to tell me what to do with my body, just like it's not my job to tell you what to do with your body. But yet, our male politicians want to do that. They want to tell us these things. Now, Trump, when he actually had to talk about the lies, nobody aborts a baby after it's born. Nobody is having abortions in the 9th month, and nobody's having abortions of babies, right? If for whatever reason within the womb, the fetus has a problem, and maybe they're not going to survive, we should not be forced to have that child, because that's the health of the mother. But as he sat there and he talked about the clauses for rape or incest, let's talk about what that really means. I only own my own body if I was raped or my family member raped me? No. We live in a time right now where our daughters and our granddaughters have less rights than we did when we were born. I was born in 1975. In 1973, Roe versus Wade was the law of the land. Nobody wanted it removed other than the evangelical Christians who want to force women to give birth, because why do we need all of these workers? Why do we need all of these babies? Why are we forcing people to give birth? Why? Because we don't have assistance for you. I live in an area, Bay County has 50% of our children that live in poverty. I live here, and watching what happens to women who are forced to give birth. Because right now here in the state of Florida, it is a 6-week abortion ban. We want to force women to give birth, but we will want to help them after the fact. And the fact is that my governor, Ron DeSantis, here in the state of Florida, decided not to take the funding to help feed our children this summer. Right there alone, if you were pro-children, you would want to do that. I'm not reading off the computer, honey. I got multiple streams going on. So let's talk about it. Yes, Ron loves drag queens. In fact, I think Ron wants to be a drag queen pastor, because only people who go that hard against people, that's a whole nother story. Back to Trump. As Trump was here in Bay County, he lied about his numbers. We proved it in the videos we took. He lied about his numbers, and watching people leave after like the first hour of him rambling on with his craziness, watching the people leave. I've been there. I've been through it. And what Kamala said was the absolute truth. And so, us as people, why do you here on TikTok? I got a lot more people over here on TikTok. Why do you want to vote for a sexual predator, felon, who went on Jeffrey Epstein's plane with a human trafficker? Please tell me how Trump is a good man. All y'all can say is Trump 2024, right? But he is not a good man. As a woman, why do you want to vote for Donald Trump? I guess you don't want your rights. And I'm not having any creators come in and join us today. This is me. Tomorrow, we're going to have somebody that's going to come in and talk about Project 2025. So that is going to be a great episode. I hope y'all come back tomorrow, because living off government assistance free, honey. So you want people not to be able to eat? Because why? I don't understand this brainwashing of not wanting to help your fellow American. You see, I was raised in a very great household where we believed that God loved everyone. I didn't grow up in a household where God only loved a few and you have to follow the rules that your pastor says. And if you don't do those things, you're going to go to hell. I didn't grow up like that. I grew up where God loves everybody. And God wants women to have bodily autonomy. And you know why I know that? Because he gave us the right to give birth. He or she, right? God might not even be a he. But thank you, Paul, for the rose. I appreciate that. Please like and share the live so we can get more people to see what's going on. Even y'all Trump trolls, please. Maybe one day one of y'all will come to your senses and understand that Donald Trump is a narcissist. He's a liar. He's a sexual predator. He is a felon. He took classified information from the White House and kept it at Mar-a-Lago. And when he did that, he doesn't have the right to do that. And so we, as a country, have a choice right now. And women are going to be the ones that make sure that that disgusting man will no longer or never again be in the White House. See, when it was Donald Trump versus Joe Biden, y'all, we sat here and we were like talking, all of y'all were talking about Joe Biden's cognitive decline. Did you not see it happen last night with Trump? He sunsetted right there on screen for y'all. Like, you could see it change. He has issues. And I know a lot of people think Donald Trump is amazing. Well, I understand, right? Because you've lived your life for the past decade believing that this man has your best interests at heart, but he never has. This has all been a grift, right? His trading cards, his gold sneakers, his special hats. The amount of grifts that have been happening is just like, yeah. Donald Trump is not capable of being our commander-in-chief. We know that he is not who he says he is. He says these things, but yet he doesn't do what he says. So Project 2025 is absolutely terrifying. And if you haven't looked it up, you can go to Protect to Vote America and you can look at the information that they have put together for this, because it matters. Donald Trump absolutely said last night that he did not endorse Project 2025. That is an absolute lie. And the people at the Heritage Foundation will tell you the same thing. The people who developed this plan to hand to him worked for him, y'all. These were people that worked in his last administration. He knows. And the mental gymnastics it takes for you to keep thinking he doesn't know, he's been proven to be a liar. He's been proven to be a predator. He's been proven to be on Jeffrey Epstein's plane. And so I really don't understand how anyone who says they don't like people who traffic humans or do those things, how can you believe that he's a good person, knowing that he's been there? And by the way, those young people that Jeffrey Epstein abused, he was an absolute abuser. Why do you think he died? They didn't want him talking about all of the people he knows. And I'm going to say it out loud. If Bill Clinton went to the island, screw him. If anybody else, if any Democrat went to that island, they're bad people because they knew. Y'all know when you're going into a place and you're being offered to have services from young women. First of all, prostitution is illegal in the United States, but that's not what was happening, and they knew it. And that is the hard part of where we are today. Yesterday, I was at a meeting here. I am on our human trafficking task force, and I am well educated in how human trafficking happens in my area and across the state of Florida. And we were at a meeting yesterday, and it was an overview of what is going on with sexual assaults in our area to understand how many are happening and what our close rate is and things like that. And the one thing that was said over and over is you must believe the survivor. Because people, women, men are not making up these stories where they're abused. The fact of the matter is they were abused, and we have to pay attention to that. And when Donald Trump goes and says the horrible things he says about women, like grabbing them by the pee, right? Would you be okay with your daughter dating somebody who said that? Would you? Would you? I'm not thinking any MAGA would want that either. It's absolutely disgusting. But yet, we've let this man get away with his bullshit for far too long. So, everybody wants to make sure that Donald Trump, all the MAGA people, Trump, here you go, all the Trump stuff. I see it. They love Trump, all of the things, the red hearts, the blue hearts. But you can't tell me what Donald Trump will actually do other than make America great again. And what does that mean? So do you want to go back to the 50s where women didn't have any rights? That's truly what it means. I don't want to go backwards in at all. I want us women to have freedom. Now, I haven't mentioned yet, and I think the whole world knows by now, guess who endorsed Kamala? And I'm sorry, that's a really shiny on the screen there. Guess who endorsed Kamala? Taylor Swift. Now, that is absolutely humongous. And that scares the shit out of the men because there are more women than men in our country. And if every single one of us voted, we would decide every single election because we are the majority. It is time to stop allowing men like Donald Trump to gain power in our world. We need people who are good, who want to work for our whole country, that they want to work for everyone, not just the rich. And when you look at what Donald Trump really did, he gave tax breaks to the rich, which made them even richer. Why should, thank you for the gift, thank you for the lightning. Yay, and now I'm getting votes. Oh, I didn't even know the votes were out there. Thank you. So when you look at where we are, women will decide all of this. We are really the ones who should be running our country because we want the best for everyone, not just the rich. Because why should 1% of the population own what? 90% of the money here in the United States, and it all started with Reagan, and we all know is trickle-down economics, only screwed the middle class. Every time a Republican gets in office, they screw the middle class even more because they keep giving the tax breaks to the rich. Before Reagan, we used to tax the rich at what? 50, 60, 70, 90%. Because if you're making that much money and you're living in our country, shouldn't you give your fair share? I know that Kamala is going to make sure that the taxes do not increase for the low and middle income. But for people who make more money, absolutely, you should pay more taxes. I truly believe that you should pay your part to help because this is a community. The United States is just not one man. The United States is all of us working on the goal of us living here together. We're a melting pot. We ran away from the dictatorship over in the other world to come over here to only what? Create our own dictatorship now with Donald Trump? Anybody who will tell you that Donald Trump is a good man and he's sane, why do they think that? Please tell me why. I've never understood. I've lost many friends over Donald Trump, and I really have no issue with that because apparently they didn't want their own bodily autonomy. I lost a really good friend that I had in Dallas who literally said to me, well, you know, I'm a Republican. I got to vote that way. No, you don't. Stop choosing your party over country. We are here to work together. And this rhetoric of us versus them and this battle, that's what they want. Because when you sit down and you actually talk to people, we all want the same thing. I want every Floridian to have the freedom to be healthy, prosperous, and safe. That doesn't mean taking away rights from people. It doesn't mean that you go to school. I love the, oh my goodness, yay, the hand heart, thank you. It doesn't mean that you go to school and then come home days later with a reassignment surgery. We all know that that's made up, right? Like even the Moms for Liberty person at their event knew Trump was lying, but she was just happy he was there and talking with them. When you allow people to keep lying, you are actually endorsing them. And my favorite quote of all of this is, if you are silent or neutral, you are on the side of the oppressor, which is Donald Trump. Thank you for all the likes. I love it. We have to make sure that we're standing up for the values that we were created on. We were here for everyone. We wanted to make a country that worked for everyone, not just for some, right? And as you saw us lose our way, you go through history, the horrible history of our slavery, right? We can't pretend that didn't happen. And how Ron DeSantis changed our history books to say that the slaves learned good life skills. Yeah, good life skills. Learning how to survive. Thank you, Dr. J, on the votes. So life skills of learning how to, what? You know, you feel it. You know it. But if you've been living in this world of almost a decade of Donald Trump, what he's done is he has fed the lies. He has fed the things that people are fearful of, right? We have been living in hate, greed, and fear for a very long time. And that's not what we have to live in. We can live in a place where it all works for all of us, right? We can live in a country that values its citizens, that makes room for people who want to immigrate here, and who faces the truth of where we really are, right? I hear all the people talk about badly about the illegals are coming over here. Well, let's talk about how we handle that. Who's hiring them? They're working here. Who's hiring them? I can name multiple businesses over on the beach. that know that they are paying people who are here undocumented. In fact, there's places over on my beach that when somebody comes over on a J1 visa, they take their passport from them, they don't pay them, and they work them to death, right? They will work them until we find random people every year here in our area who die because they're out picking palmetto berries. Do you know what a palmetto berry does? Do you know what the big deal of a palmetto berry is? It is what's used in Viagra. And do you know where you find these berries? In places where snakes are, in our swampy areas. I remember a few years ago, there was something that was on the TV, and the lady actually, I shouldn't say lady, they put the clothes on of what they believed to be a woman. They might have done the autopsy, but they put the clothes on the TV because there was nothing left for them to figure out who she was. And they just put it out there. Does anybody know who might have owned these clothes? So we can identify this person. This happens here. It happens across the country. But until, keep saying Trump 2024, you have no platform, y'all. How many of you are really bots? How many of you are being paid? Did y'all see what happened this week with what was it? Tenet Media got caught because all of their money was coming from Russia, and these huge right-wing pundits out there got caught from taking money from Russia. Russia's interfering with our elections. So is Iran. I mean, you probably got China. I mean, people know that if you come and mess with the United States, that people might believe some of that propaganda you're selling. But over on the Democrat side, we see through the propaganda and we want to talk to you about it. But if you've lived so long believing Donald Trump is a savior, your cognitive dissonance at this point is to a level that I honestly don't know. Can you survive mentally understanding that you were supporting a pedophile, a groomer, a cheater, a predator, a felon, somebody who went to the island where women were being trafficked with that Jeffrey Epstein? It's a lot to try to take inside. And it's a lot of trauma of understanding that you were wrong. I am here to say, if you would like to talk about what's going on, I'm ready to talk to you because I want you to come out of the haze, the fog, the lies, because I know you're smarter than that. I know you know in your heart that Donald Trump is a big bully. You don't name call people the way he does without being a big bully, y'all. He knows this. And I appreciate everybody watching on TikTok and everybody watching on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn, because we are the ones that are going to make a difference. So if you want to go out and speak to other people about this, this is how I start every conversation when I don't know the person. I just start talking with them. Hey, how are you today? Hey, absolutely. Cool. You just start talking. And if something comes up and you start going, hey, did you hear about this? Did you hear how Donald Trump made up this crazy story about kids going to school and then coming home days later with a sex change operation? And most of them will be like, yeah, that's absolutely crazy, but I still support him because, he's got to rile up his base. He has to say these things so people will get out and vote. That's mental gymnastics, y'all. That's like finding any which way that you can validate who Donald Trump is. So if you are on my TikTok, please like and share, let people know about me. I'm going to be going live a lot here because talking through the truth and having these conversations is how we're going to change our country. You see, I wrote the business case for kindness. I also wrote kindness as your superpower. And I truly believe in leading with kindness. Thank you. So we are the ones to do this. Us as women, will decide this election. So does anybody have any questions on the TikTok or over here on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube? Any questions, not just the word Trump? Can anybody actually give me a reason other than Trump 2024 on why you're voting for Donald Trump? Why shouldn't we vote for Harris? Harris got the CHIPS Act passed with Joe Biden. We have $35 insulin, which, by the way, my congressman voted against, and he's a doctor. So that's absolutely a disgusting, disgusting thing to think about. We're not dumb and brainwashed. Oh, yes, you are. Oh, yeah, you are. She's not lying. What's she lying about? See, it's the same thing on every single one of these lives. Y'all say the same thing over and over and over again. But you have no platform to stand on with what he's done. Tell me how he's not a felon. Tell me how he wasn't on the plane with Jeffrey Epstein. Tell me how he wasn't a pedophile or a groomer or a cheater on his wives, right? Like, didn't he get one of his new wives pregnant while he was still married with one of the old ones? You know, this is not a good man, right? And when he wants to demonize people, you don't demonize people unless you're trying to make yourself feel better and your ego and your narcissism. So thank you. I appreciate it. I'm going to let everybody go here on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Join me tomorrow at noon, and we're going to talk about Project 2025. Yay.